on your second stimulus check, your third stimulus check, your Biden stimulus check, and your $10,000 EIDL check. I have so much exciting news for you in this recording. I'm going to be doing stuff you've never heard before. Well, a little bit of something, a little bit new, a little bit of old, and a little bit of borrowed, and a little bit of blue. I'm so excited you're joining me earlier today in a rushed extra show between mornings and home. This show. I delivered the world exclusive on YouTube because no one had done it till me. Of course, I'm always first to everything. The bill provisions of the third stimulus package. I actually had a draft of the bill for you and went over it on screen. The 20-page draft of the bill. I went over it live on camera with you seeing my reaction to the provisions and me seeing your reaction to the provisions as well. Now that we've had some time to digest these provisions, I'll be going over them a little bit slower. It's all really exciting, great news. Absolutely incredibly great news. Nothing like what we thought yesterday. LALATE is killing the emoji game. More about that in a second. Meantime, that $10,000 could be landing in a bank account next week. Oh my goodness, so exciting. I'm so excited for you. $10,000. Hazard pay, some EIDL, some stimulus checks, some extended unemployment in a way you didn't think it was yesterday, and more great news. I'm so excited for you for joining me on Home LALATE, our midday recording. And if you've not subscribed, please go to the front channel, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, then hit the alert button so you get alert when I next go live, and also like this video. Meantime, if you've not joined, consider joining this channel. There's a link at the top of the chat. It says join here. Click that link. And like Lorena and like Jeremy, you too can become a member of the channel. Overnight, I delivered some more emojis. So if you click that little happy face underneath your name, if you are a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP, you have new emojis today that are absolutely delicious. One is for an enlarged version of sirloin. Another one is some $12 ice cream. And the third one is a donut. Only use the donut if you're a donut guy. So I'm so excited. Let's get to the rock. Let's rock and roll. Let's get to the details. In this video, I'm going to go over the $10,000. Then I'll be cutting back to Biden stimulus before I'm about to sneeze again. And then I'll be going over a little bit of second stimulus if there's some time. I mean, the second stimulus, no one has got to the $600 stimulus check. It's like missing. It's just gone. It's missing with Dora the Explorer. I don't know where it is. I may have to set out some search crew from, Nat Geo to go find it. Searching stimulus check. Tonight on Nat Geo. Let's get to the details. The details first is I'm so excited that I have heard that you may be getting, by the end of the weekend, an email from SBA. That's sba.gov. Former home of Javita Carranza. Yes, former, because yesterday I told her in a world exclusive, that was her last day at SBA. Bye, Javita. Won't miss those scars, will we? But Javita Lane is coming back to this channel. So the comedic parody of Javita is still around. I'm reporting that that you may get an email by the end of the weekend that says, hi, confirm your bank account. Go to a portal, confirm your bank account, confirm your identity, confirm your application name, and we have some moolah for you. The remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant. Or the EIDL grant you never got. $10,000. So stay with me because this is a developing story, the $10,000 EIDL grant for 2020 applicants. Meantime, you're going to see changes to the SBA website by Sunday. It's already changed. It's changed 4 times in 2 days already. So that the 2 new applicants from the second stimulus package, if they are you need to be ready to pounce, Purple Hawk. Pounds, Hawk. Pounds, pounds, pounds. First, if you're an inner city, low income, Grubhub, Airbnb, anyone has Schedule C or corporate tax return from 2020, 2019, get ready to pounce because that's going to be yours. Grant, free money. And then agricultural. That one is likely to go live by the end of the weekend. So really exciting, great news. That's $10,000. Insane. Now let's turn to a second stimulus package, the $600 stimulus check. It's just not there. It's just not there. I don't know where it is. It's off in Club Med, having lobsters with Mitch's DJ. I don't know where the $600 stimulus check is. So 50% of the viewers have not got the $600 stimulus check. Don't consider you out as an anomaly. You are not. Viewers just not getting it. They're just not getting the stimulus check. So stay with me. We're going to have more details about that on Afternoons LA. But because this is only a 30-minute recording, I want to cut right to third stimulus check and third stimulus package, Biden stimulus. Oh my goodness. So the great news, if you joined me about an hour ago when I went live on a rushed recording with a different shirt and a different hairstyle, that's how we change it up here. I went over the 20-page third stimulus package bill draft for the first time ever. Anyone has ever heard this, seen it, or understood it. And I went it over with you in a rushed recording where you saw my reaction because I had never seen the document, and the net result was we're very excited. It's very, very, very exciting, great news. So now in this recording, I'm going to go over it again slower now that I've been able to digest it and you and I understand what's going on. First, before I start, let me explain the following. Throughout all of December and November, as soon as I knew that Joe Biden was our president-elect, as soon as I had his transition papers, as soon as I started to tell you what was in third stimulus check and third stimulus package, an expression I catchphrased on this channel before anyone is now using it, without residuals. Darn, pay my residuals, folks. You're going to do video with the same title as my show. Just at least pay some residuals. The third stimulus check and third stimulus package, I told you that the SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits bill would be a standalone bill. How many times did I say it on the channel? I said it almost every single day. I said, I don't think it's going to be part of the third stimulus package. It's going to be a standalone bill. It's going to come as a different bill. Why? Because it's nonpartisan. Two, because they got to fix the whole system. The fixing the system has nothing to do about stimulus. It's just they got to fix the system. Yeah, there is $2,400 in there for SS4 stimulus. But the benchmark, the 20% increase, that has nothing to do with stimulus. It's just fixing a system that needs to be fixed. Thank you, Gladys. Oh wow, for becoming a Calcino VIP. Gladys is a Calcino VIP. Let us absolutely say hello, Gladys, and thank you for becoming a Calcino VIP. Wow. What's important to understand is I had said that SSI, SSDI will be standalone bill. It now looks like it is a standalone bill. So when as soon as as soon as I tell something that I'm gonna be able to say when, I can't get a breath out before I get the next question. So it's a standalone bill. When? It's a standalone. When? When am I getting the money? My donut's getting soggy. When's it getting my money? A new report out this morning or midday says that this, which is not the SSI bill, it's the bigger bill, the America the Beautiful bill, the America Rescue Plan. I don't know. Every time I say that name, America Rescue Plan, it sounds like a new reality show on A&E. Just America Rescue Plan coming to A&E this fall at 10 o'clock, 9 Central. Go into the rescues of the America Rescue Plan. A group of former military go in to rescue people from bad hairstylists in San Francisco. The America Rescue Plan coming to A&E, the new reality show. I just a tacky name of a bill. But so be it. It has different versions. Sometimes called the American Rescue Plan. Sometimes called the America Rescue Plan. But oh yeah, there's an emoji that says it's not a law yet. Yes, there's a new emoji for my members that says it's not law yet. So it's really good. That's my favorite one actually. We now know that the America Rescue Plan will not get introduced as a bill until the 20th. Oh, so they're gonna wait another few days. Every excuse they can do, just wait. They just wait. So yeah, I'd hope we were gonna see this as a bill approved by the House, landing in the Senate and ready to land on his table on the 20th of January. The new report says he's going to wait to even introduce it until the 20th. Sandy is killing the emoji game with the "it's not law yet." So there we go. So we have to wait for the America Rescue Plan coming to a reality TV show near you at the end of January. It's just I thought we were going to get this done sooner, but here we go. Hence, I'll be making more recordings. That's the first thing. Second, the SSI and SSDI thing then will likely not come to early February. Third, the student loan debt forgiveness, the $10,000, which is still at issue. A new series of reports say that the $10,000 student loan thing is a separate bill itself. So Joe Biden, a former senator who loves to write bills, He's a legislator. We legislate, as Nancy used to say. Legislator who legislates. They're going to take their time to do that one as well. So your $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness is on point. It is still happening. The SSI and SSDI $2,400 is still on point. It's still happening. It's just not here, and there's just no rush. So you're not going to see the moolah in the month of January. Just not going to see the money in the month of January. But it is still law yet. It is still hope yet. It's still not law yet. So there you go. That is all good news. So let's go to the great news. The great news on top of the $10,000 EIDL. Here is here is the great stuff through this. Gladys says you keeping me sane through this entire debacle. I appreciate that, Gladys. It is sort of a debacle. Let me cut right to FPUC, which is sort of an example of what we're dealing with this thing here. Yesterday, when people watched Joe Biden talk, you heard one word and you didn't hear another word. You heard $400 a week for FPUC and you never heard the word retro. So everyone just assumed, oh, we've been screwed. We've been held out. We've been put out to tar and feather. We've been put out with the old trash. Thank you, Joe. You sold us out. And so we just assumed that because that's the way he talked. Well, it was a press conference for show and pomp and circumstance. So we turned to the FPUC in here. And the FPUC in here is actually written quite interestingly. And the way it's written basically says that he wants to float a number, and he wants to float the number $400. It says he's not stuck on $400, and he's not really stuck on when it's running for. He says, I'm not really quite sure when the FPUC should run. I think we should run it maybe to at least September, but maybe we do it longer. And in fact, he actually says, I'm going to require a provision of the law that allows them to change the FPUC easy without an entire brand new bill, that they could simply just come in and clap their hands like the clapper, clap on, clap off when you want to change FPUC. He actually says that in the bill, which is really brilliant. I mean, you've heard me say this all for 6 months. It sounds like he's tuning into this channel. I said, why can't they figure out a way to do bills faster and easier than this? That they have to wait around and write a 6,000-page bill every time. Why can't you just have like a one-line, change it? Clap on, clap off. So he actually says we're going to clap on, clap off if we're doing FPUC. Maybe we'll change the weeks. Maybe we'll change the amount. Maybe we'll, go this way. Maybe we'll go that way. And he says, I have no opinion yet about where it is. So this is great news for FPUC. It is not etched in stone about anything. It's not confirmed as retro. It's not confirmed as not retro. It's not confirmed as $400. It's not confirmed as $400. It's not confirmed that it goes to September. It's not confirmed for anything. And it actually says we don't have a determination about it yet. We want to figure this out as a team. Wow, I love this. Now when we get to stimulus check, that is confirmed. So AOC yesterday said, what's your darn math, Joe? You promised us a $2,000 stimulus check in 2021 in addition to what we already have. Chuck Schumer said it on Monday or Tuesday this week, $2,000 plus what you already have. So that's, plus the Cash Act. So Chuck Schumer said $2,000 plus $1,400. Now it's $1,400. There's no $2,000. So AOC was not happy as a camper about that, nor are the viewers. So the stimulus check part of the bill is basically Cash Act. Not particularly nice. That is pretty clear. There's not much wiggle room in there, but we have room to negotiate. $1,400 for individuals, $2,800 for married couples, $1,400 for children. Adult dependents who did not get a stimulus check under second stimulus, Mar-a-Lago stimulus, would get $2,000 and the $1,200 from the first stimulus package. So let me say that again. If you're adult dependent and you've gotten zip since this pandemic hit, you're going to get $3,200. The rest of us, presuming our $600 check shows up sometime, in the 25th century, we're going to get $600 plus $1,400, $2,000. So much for that promise. That promise is not particularly, donut guy's not going to be happy. There's the donut emojis. Lona and Sharanta are killing the donut emoji. Not that sort of donut-ish. Not very ice cream-ish. Ice cream, I refer to ice cream as things that are delicious and rich, and that's not particularly delicious and rich. All right, hazard pay. Hazard pay is a little bit weird. It is unclear, and this is hazard pay isn't a not law yet emoji. Hazard pay says we're going to give the money to the states and locals, and then to send out the money. Hmm. And he also says I'm going to require employers to pay some hazard pay. Ooh. Ooh. Can he do that? Oh yeah, he can do that. He can require employers to pay you hazard pay. He can require the grocery union is gonna love this. It just sounds like the grocery union's been taking Joe to lunch a few times, or taking to the grocery store. He can require the grocery chains to add an additional $5 or $10 an hour of hazard pay. The grocery union has been arguing that for a while. In LA County, they're doing it. LA County has required the grocery stores to pay extra hazard pay. Now, but when you think about this, there is delicious ice cream to hazard pay, and there's sort of there's no ice cream for other people. Let me explain where I see this sort of going. I see hazard pay coming to people who are frontline workers like nurse, rescue, fire, ambulatory, um, grocery, and cert and wait, I said that wrong. Let me start over again. It looks like he wants the states and counties to use federal money for hazard pay for sort of emergency services like fire, rescue, ambulatory, things like that. Now, everyone else, which is most viewers of this channel, it looks like he's going to require employers to pay hazard pay. Require employers to pay hazard pay in certain industries, which means that I think 20% of the viewers of this channel will be cut out. They won't be covered, and the other 80% may be covered. Example people that may be covered are people in big box retail, people in groceries, people in large Fortune 500 corporations, people in certain industries, and then other industries just not going to get anything. So I think that's what's going to happen. He specifically talks about who he thinks the situation is not fair for. He talks about retail putting you in harm's way but not paying you hazard pay. And he also talks about frontline workers. So it looks like he's going to require certain industries to pay hazard pay. And and he talks about talking to CEOs. So I get a sense it's going to be big business. It's not going to be small business. So if you're employed by a mom and pop, I don't think you can get hazard pay. I don't think it's a small mom and pop business. I don't think you can get hazard pay. But if you work at a major big box retailer, it sounds like you're getting hazard pay. He specifically says he wants to talk to the CEOs of big box retailers or big retailers. So this is interesting. This is developing, and this is how he's paying hazard pay by forcing them to pay you, not the federal government, forcing them to pay you, which answers your question. How do you get it? Do you apply for it? No, your employer would be required to pay you for it. This is a great idea. If he does it comprehensive enough. Oh yeah, they require them. There'll be a criminal prosecution if they don't pay you. No, there'll be a federal fine if they don't pay you. It's gonna be very, very serious. They do it well. They do it very well in LA. So they would absolutely go after the corporations they don't pay you. So that's really that's a great idea. Next, there's $1,200 or $1,400 if you're a student in college. They're going to give some financial assistance, an additional $1,400 for students in college. It sounds sort of like an additional grant if you're having problems because of COVID. That was really good. Then, if you got COVID or you have gotten sick or a family member has gotten sick, it looks like there's going to be paid sick leave up to $75,000 annual or $1,400 a week, which is absolute delicious ice cream. That's like 5 emojis of ice cream right there. You're going to get, if you got COVID, you're going to be able to get paid sick leave of up to about $1,400 a week. Now, if you're an independent contractor, I don't know how that's going to work. But if you work at a corporation, they say, we don't pay you sick leave. He's going to like, no, the federal government's going to pay you the sick leave. The federal government is going to pay you the sick leave. My job doesn't have sick leave, says Russell. And that's exactly what Joe Biden bill says. Jobs don't have money or don't pay you sick leave. The federal government will pay you sick leave, which is absolutely 12 emojis of delicious ice cream emojis. It's incredible. This is absolutely deliciousness. It's and wow, it's just incredible. Next, next item that's really interesting was so we did unemployment. Um, we did the stimulus check. Uh, oh, renters. So the renters. Oh my God, this was really. Thank you, Maddie, for becoming a Purple Hawk. The renting was incredible. I love this. You know why I love this rental provision? He has rent aid in here. I mean, here's to be emotional. I sat outside and went over rent aid every day on this channel since March, since about April last year. It was always the fourth show on afternoons at LA. I always said to you, it's the biggest bomb of a show I ever do on this channel. But I got to do it because it's important to you. Rent is so important to you. I would always sit out there and be the fourth show. No one would watch it. I'm like, but I got to do it because it's an important show. And I did it not for viewership. I did it for you. And I did over and over and over and over and over and over and over again the show. And when we got to second stimulus and there was no rent in there, and then I was upset. But now there is rent in the second stimulus. But now under third stimulus, the rent is incredible. The rent is income is rent for middle class people as well. Middle class people can get rent assistance as well. Throughout all of 2010, we only talked about rent assistance for people who made less than $45,000 a year, which leaves out the entire middle class, the entire country. Here he's saying, hey, the middle class needs rent assistance as well. What are we doing? We need help for them as well. So what he wants to do is ensure the middle class and the low income class get rent help, and that rent help goes right to the landlord. This is not a situation where the rent that he so describes would go to you and you can go buy some Jordans or some or some hair dye. This is where the rent would go right to the landlord. So he wants to ensure the small landlord that owns 2 apartment buildings and the renter that's middle class that works, you don't have to be unemployed, that works, or is low income that gets money, and that everything is stabilized. There is mortgage forbearance in there. There's not mortgage assistance. The mortgage forbearance I don't like because it's the federal mortgage forbearance. It's not the all mortgages. It's only federally backed mortgages. The eviction moratorium is in there. I like the eviction moratorium, but it's not the CDC one. It's the CDC one again. But there is no help with mortgage payment. But that's where we're going so far. Then there's money for homeless people to get into housing. I get that question a lot from viewers. I'm homeless. Can I get into housing? I have a lot of viewers who watch me on Wi-Fi who are homeless. They have a cell phone, and this is the show they watch. And I appreciate you for always being a viewer with me. I have a lot of you. They send me private messages all the time. So there is something in here for homeless people to get into housing. Now, understand this is not law yet. There's no place to apply for it, but that's why you got to stay with me. There's 1,100 people in the room, and wow, we're moving up to 1,200 people. So this is incredible, great news. You see what's going on here is someone just dropped a comment, which is an interesting comment. It's sort of what I said it yesterday myself. I now realize the comment's not particularly accurate. Let me explain what the comment was the viewer just said. The viewer said 1.9 trillion is cheap. It's not a lot of money. And I said that a few days ago. We now see that if you spend money a certain way, you can get a lot of things done. Let me explain why. You could do hazard pay, but require the employers to spend the money, not the federal government. Item number one. Item number two, you can do a program where the money is paid back by a different thing. I'm getting to one of the things in here where it says this program is going to make the federal government a lot of money, but it's also going to make you a lot of money. That's the way they're going to pay for that part of the program. The next one that's very interesting is he cut out enormous pork. I got to really say, I love some pork. I love some pork spare ribs. There's no pork in here. So this is a very lean, mean bill. There's almost nothing excess in here. The state and local is only $300 billion. So the reason why you have there's a lot of 50 billion here and 25 billion there and 35 billion there is because he cut out pork. So I really like, he got a lot done in 1.9. I told you yesterday, I was wrong, that the 1.9 won't cover anything. It's the reason why I thought, because I thought there was going to be pork. There's no pork in here. So this is a really well done bill. This is very well thought through. Needless to say, I haven't said this, but the formatting in the document, the way the document looks, is exactly like his transition papers. So he's had the same persons who's been writing his stuff since fall of last year, writing this. This is the language sounds the same, the phrasing, the punctuation, the way he does his paragraph formatting, it looks exactly the same. So it's a very well thought through idea. Next, the SNAP increases. The SNAP increases of 15%, covering you to, I think it was September. Let's see. September. So he's going to continue the SNAP 15% to September. Then he has three other types of food items. I'm not really up to date on all my food items, but it looks like they may be new programs. One called the FEMA Empowering Essential Deliveries Act, which basically says the federal government will pay restaurants to then deliver food to you. They do that in LA and California, where they pay the restaurants money to deliver food to seniors. This would be for more than just seniors. So this is really great news. I know there's a lot of trolls in the room. There's a decision when how to handle a chat. I can either have the chat only members, which would prevent non-members from chatting. But then I have viewers internationally who join me who are overseas. I really encourage their participation. So what I recommend is if anyone's bothering you, always report them. Hit the report button on the next to their name and report them, and their comment will be blocked. Um, Next is the business stuff. So the business stuff is very vague, um, which I like. I like that it's vague because all I care about is the dollar symbol. How much money is it? I would have liked it a little bit more, but it's 15 billion for business grants. I'd like a little more for that, but 15 billion for business grants, uh, and doesn't say anything else other than that. It's like five sentences, five words, one sentence, and then 175 billion, which is insane. 175 billion dollars of what looks like a new business program that would give you a loan to even start a new business. And that loan would make the federal government money, but also help you start a business. And that's what he talked about last night. Not just, stuff to help people that are existing. Because I get this question a lot from viewers. I started something during the pandemic. I started a new business during the pandemic. Can I get a loan to grow my business? Yes. $175 billion for that. So, wow. What an exciting day it is. Now at the 30-minute mark, let me answer some of your questions. I know Holmes LA usually goes over decor, but let me answer some of your questions because there's a lot of stuff in there. Um, don't ask me where do I get the money, how do I get the money, or where do I apply because it's not law yet. That's sort of obvious. But ask me questions about clarity for the bill and the draft of the bill, and I will go over that for you. Um, would we get the $2,000 monthly? There is no $2,000 monthly. Do you have to repay the rent? No, the rent is free money. FPUC retro is not off the table. It's not. It specifically says I'm not making a decision about it. FPUC is still in play. Is SSI a standalone bill? SSI is heading towards a standalone bill. Yes. Lifeline grant. Don't hear it, but we do see business grants. So he doesn't even say what the name of the business grants is. Eviction moratorium until when? I think it was September. I think it was September. Without flipping through the pages, I think it was September. Hazard pay retro. The way he writes it, it sounds like it is. Yes, that's a great question. He says he doesn't like that you did work and you didn't get paid for it. So yes. Do I have to reapply for EIDL? No, you need to, if you want a loan, you need to do a reconsideration. If you want the grant, you don't have to reapply. Adult dependents, retro, yes, great question. So adult dependents will get a $1,200 stimulus check retro from CARES Act 1 of 2020, the $1,200 you never got from last year, and a $2,000 check new. So $1,200 retro and a $2,000 check new. So you get $3,200 adult dependents. MSC, not really, no, just SC, one stimulus check. How will we get companies to pay hazard pay? He will likely put a provision in there requiring companies by law to pay you. And so this sounds like it's going to be big companies, not small businesses. So some people are going to be left out of hazard pay. Some won't be left out of hazard pay. If you work for a big box retailer, you're in a better situation right now, or a rideshare company. If you work for a small mom and pop, you're potentially not in a good situation for that issue. When do you think the bill will be presented to the House? That's a great question. So the news reports now say today the bill won't be introduced until the 20th, which is just very disconcerting. I mean, it's not a long way away, but I would have liked this earlier on. If I was laid off, I was brought back. Don't know. We questions in incredible detail about eligibility. We don't know. So I don't want to guess about eligibility on any issue. Someone just asked, I was laid off, I brought back, I was taken, and then I moved over to this job, and I moved to this job. I don't want to guess because it doesn't make sense. The $10,000 student loan will be a standalone bill. Fast food, if yeah, if it's one of those fast food companies, believe me, Joe Biden's going to go over that one. Yeah. Alfonso, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. Does the loan application, I don't know, I saw the question correctly, but thank you, Shanta, for becoming a Purple Power. Wow, Shanta, thank you. So, EIDL grant, you don't have to have been approved for the loan to get the grant. The business grants under Joe Biden's thing, we don't know anything about them. They're very vague. It just says there's some business grants. Gail just got here. Hello. How fast do I think anything's going to take place? It's not going to happen in January. No one is going to see a penny in their pockets in January from this bill. Our SSI, so the combo question, are we getting this plus that? Yes. $10,000 balance of EIDL, yes. My screen is foggy. It looked a little foggy. I think it's because there's too much exposure of the light. Do I look a little foggy? I thought I'd look foggy. I don't know why. Maybe because I had the window open. Connie killing the emoji game. Yes, adult dependents would get $3,200. Student loan debt forgiveness, standalone bill. My mom qualifies for the. Do you think they'll do retroactive unemployment? I do. Will there be multiple stimulus checks? Not yet. Your picture's foggy. My picture looks a little foggy also. I think it could be the shirt or one of the lights is. Is that better? I think that's better. I don't know. One of the lights is making it a little bit blown out there. There, that might be a little bit better. Is that a little bit better? I think, yeah, one of the lights is washing me out. Maybe something moved. Um, there's been a lot of wind here today. Looks good to you? Okay. So there at the 34-minute mark, just the light somewhat, and we see what happens. Yeah, it's better. It is better. Yeah, something was going on with the light. and I think it's because I have the window open because it's very warm here today. So there we go. So what a day it is. Thank you for joining me on Home LALATE, the midday update for LALATE. I had the big updates for you on the third stimulus package from Joe Biden. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Go to the front channel, subscribe, hit that alert button, that bell, so you get alert when I next go live, which will be on Afternoons LA with Being the Mitch. And also like this video. And thank you for the super chat there. And for the 3 or 4 people who became new members during this video. One is a Purple Power, which is incredible, and one is a Calcino VIP who had a very nice comment to me. Said I kept that person sane and calm during this pandemic. I really appreciate it. I'll be going over this more in detail on Afternoons LA. Afternoons LA, I'll be returning at 3:30 with check, which is second stimulus. I got to cover a lot of second stimulus because a lot of you have still not gotten money under the second stimulus, including the provisions of second stimulus. Then right after that will be third stimulus, which is this Biden stimulus, and I'll be back live with Being a Mitch answering some of your questions. I think it's because it's a bright day and I had the window opened, which further than I usually have it open. And also consider becoming a member by clicking the link at the top of this video. Thank you for enjoying the new emojis. New emojis rolled out overnight are a donut, a sirloin, a blown up sirloin, because there was another sirloin already, a larger sirloin, $12 ice cream, and it's not law yet, which is my favorite new emoji. There's Connie killing the emoji game. I love that it's not law yet. There's Russell killing the emoji, and there's Connie killing the it's not law yet. Sydney's killing it as well. So, the good news is that because more of you joined as members, my number of emojis has increased. So I can go up, I think, now to 31 emojis. So the more of you that join or tell other people join, I can upload more emojis. I enjoy making them. I enjoy seeing them from you as well. So I'll see you this afternoon. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a great afternoon, and save LA for more.